Does my 20-year-old still follow my frugal advice? He's 20. He's in college. He's making his own financial decisions, but the question is he still frugal? Let's talk about it. But first, if you don't know us, I'm Hope. And
I'm Daniel.
And this is Under the Median, where practical frugality meets real life. It doesn't get much more real than when your 20-year-old is on spring break from college and he wants to talk finances. And I said, well, let's just do it in front of a whole lot of other people. Let me just write down some notes. These are frugal habits that I taught Daniel when he was 10. And the question is, now that he's 20, does he still follow my frugal advice? Okay, area number 1. And we haven't talked about this before doing the video. So this is like live family therapy. Number 1, buying used instead of new.
Oh, absolutely. Not that I really spend much money anyway, but when I do, I am searching around at the thrift store before I look anywhere else.
Habit number 2, cooking at home. I will say that you cooked at home a lot more when you were like still in high school, because he really does love to cook. So we can say like eating food that you took from my home to class.
Yeah, no, I don't spend money on food outside of home.
So how many times were you in the college cafeteria to purchase food, not just to like study group, to purchase food, let's say in the last semester?
Oh, about 2 or 3 times, I think.
2 or 3 times. What did you buy? Like if you're going to binge, if you're going to buy something from the school cafeteria, what are you going to spend your money on?
One time I forgot my lunch, so I had to get a cheeseburger. It was really good cheeseburger, though. So, but the other times I was celebrating with fries because they got great fries in there.
Okay. Fries. His binge of choice when it comes to the cafeteria. Habit number 3, using cash or a debit card instead of credit.
Yeah, I don't have a credit card. You know I don't have a credit card.
No credit going on here, except when it comes to his college credits. There you go. Number 4, comparing prices before buying. I want to know if you still do this.
To an extent. Like I said, I don't buy a whole lot of stuff on my own anyway, but I'm not sure I really do, to be honest. If I'm going out to get snacks, I'm going to one place and getting the snacks. I'm not looking around at 5 different places.
All right, now this is another question. So I know you have a snack budget. What are your snacks of choice? Like, where do you get your frugal snacks from?
Usually Aldi, I think.
What's good? Like, what is the best frugal snack available at Aldi that you buy?
I usually mooch off of Phil's snacks, to be honest, more recently. I give myself $30 of fun money a month, but that usually goes toward dates, so...
What's your fun frugal date?
Oh, we enjoy going to periodic movies, which it's a bit, but it's like $20, so it's not awful for a date. For frugal dates, we just chill at home, either here or at her house, to be honest. We hang out, play games, talk.
Comic-Con, that's coming up.
Yes.
So that's big.
Yeah, Comic-Cons, usually it's $10 or $15 per person at the door, for some of them. A lot of them, especially the ones at malls, are completely free. And I usually give myself about a $10 to $20 budget for the Comic-Cons, so... yeah, that goes up a little bit. That's about $50 in total.
All right. How about avoiding name brand when generic works just as well? Do you buy any name brand? Is there something you're like, no, it's got to be name brand?
I gotta have my Doritos. I'm sorry. We've talked about this.
Yeah, this discussion. Name brand Doritos.
But no,
Weigh in the comments section.
When it comes to everything else, food is food. I'll probably just get the whatever's cheapest, which is usually the generic.
All right, I feel that this almost goes without saying, but avoiding trendy fashion choices and choosing quality over quantity.
Do I look like I'm trying to trend here? I rarely buy clothing at all. I use a lot of used stuff from thrift stores. or my girlfriend buys me, or what I steal from her closet.
So to be fair, like you shop thrift stores, but you tend to really like a classic vintage vibe. So really, thrift stores are kind of the place to find those items.
Khakis, a button-up shirt, polos.
And a fedora.
Yes, I have 2 fedoras.
And I feel like it would be really good to give context to sort of just not whether you're still following these frugal ideas, but how we taught you these frugal ideas. Just for people who have college-age young people still living at home or are away at school or their high school students that they're bringing them into the room to listen to your wisdom. Choosing a car, talk about like what the process was like, how you narrowed it down to make, model, the year that you were looking at, what your budget was, things like that. Because you bought your own vehicle in your own name at the age of 18, and we helped out just a little bit.
Mm-hmm. So my budget was $10,000. So out of pocket, it was $8,000 because they were paying for 2 of that. Their whole thing is that they'll match the first $2,000. So I was aiming for $10,000. I did have to go slightly above that for my Mazda, but only by a couple hundred. It wasn't bad. I found the Mazda. Well, I didn't. My brother found it. He was passing by a lot and saw it. But in general, I was looking for a car that was about 10 years old. No older than that. I really wanted a Prius, but those things are expensive. So the Mazda was really good. I hadn't even thought about a Mazda before, but the dealership is really great. They had a really good track record. Turns out Mazda's a really good car to have. So I was able to negotiate down to about $10,200 or so, I believe, out the door in cash. I didn't tell them I was paying cash at the time, because you don't tell them you're paying cash until the end.
So you didn't, no car loans?
No loans at all. I was saving every penny I got up to that point.
All right, let's talk about no loans at all, because that's the next question that always comes up when we have one of our sons on, is the cost of college. So you are talk a little bit about college, the track you're on, what your degree will be in, and where you're at as far as the college loan situation.
So I am currently graduating from a 2-year university after going there for 3 years because I was taking 4 classes at a time while working 2 part-time jobs. The semesterly expenditure, because I got some really good scholarships, wasn't bad. It was a couple thousand a semester that I had to pay out of pocket.
And we picked up $3,000 of that. So really,
yes.
So we picked up $3,000 each year that he was in the community college. So really, you paid maybe $1,000 per year out of pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So far, where are we at with like saving for your final 2 years? What are you looking at as far as transferring to a 4-year college? And what are you majoring in?
Oh, I am majoring in high school education. I'm focusing on English Lit. I am transferring to a 4-year university. I'll probably be going there for about 3 years again, so I can take it at a pace that I can manage while working a part-time job.
And no college loans. That's the goal. So the goal is transfer, finish your last 2 years or 3 years, however long it takes you, and no debt walking out the door.
Yes, and because of that, I am applying for just all the scholarships.
Just all of them. So I will say that we paid $3,000 a year for the 2-year college, and when he goes to the 4-year university, we are paying $5,000 a year. But all the rest of it, other than what we're paying and the scholarships that he gets, he will be paying out of pocket. He has been saving since he was 10 or something. Yeah. When he started earning his own money, a lot of that just simply went into a fund that he set aside. And do you have an emergency fund?
So I have money. I haven't set aside any. I really need to work on my budget. I need to work on my budgeting skills.
Let's talk about that next. Let's talk about your budgeting skills. Are you living on a written budget?
So I give myself $30 of fund money a month, and I fill up my car 3 times, which adds up to about $90. That's all of the out-of-pocket expenditures I really have. The rest of it, my philosophy is kind of, I'll figure it out.
This is not good because
No,
you do have.
no, I need to work on
you
it.
set aside. So every month you need to be setting aside money for your car insurance, right? And also for your cell phone bill. We got to work on this. This is such a fun video. These are things I did not know, but you do. So you have an every dollar account.
I do not.
You do not? I thought you did. Oh my gosh. Y'all, as soon as we get done with this video, I'm just saying, and I told you guys, and it was truthful, that we did not go over any of these questions before we started the video. I said, oh, you're home on break. Let me just interview you about frugal lifestyle and whether you are following what we taught you to do or not. All right, so he's going to work on that written budget right away. The next question that I have is not upgrading tech unless absolutely necessary.
Oh, yeah, I barely upgrade my devices until I absolutely have to.
I think, as I recall, like the last time you got a cell phone, didn't we find a good deal and we paid for it for you because you refused to update your cell phone?
I believe that was the case.
Yeah,
yes.
that was the case. Y'all, he was like traveling back and forth to school, and I never knew whether he was going to get a phone call or not. And I was like, I can't take it. As a parent, I was like, I can't take it anymore. So we found like a really good, like a Note 1, I think is what it was. And we paid for it so that we made sure that he had a cell phone upon which we could contact him. This is probably surprising a few of you. The next thing. Oh, this will be fun. So you can throw dating in here too, because you have a girlfriend. Planning free or low-cost entertainment. How do you find things to do that don't cost you a lot of money?
I play a lot of games, like board games, physical games.
Okay. So these are like role-playing games, right?
Some of them.
Mainly, some of them. Okay. So board games with friends, which he has at my dining room table.
Yes.
With primarily my snacks. Do you see a trend here? What else do you do that's fun but doesn't cost you a lot of money?
We watch a lot of movies and TV shows. My girlfriend and I are currently watching through an old anime called Ghost in the Shell, which is a sci-fi kind of dystopia. It's fun. It's a fun time.
It's a fun time. That sounds so romantic. I just can't tell you how romantic that sounds. So free. And so do you guys you go for walks and stuff too?
Oh yeah, we go for walks. We play on her trampoline because they got a trampoline in their backyard. So that's nice.
Okay, that sounds pretty fun.
Coming up here, we'll be gardening because it's starting to get warmer. So she's got the seeds. We're going to, actually Friday, we're going to start planting them in the little starters.
Little starter cells, yeah.
Yeah. So she's got some of the little potters, but for the rest, we're just going to use egg cartons.
Okay, so they are starting a garden. This is at her house, not at our house. They're going to have a backyard garden, and they're planting everything. So we need you to leave tips in
Please help us.
his comment section. Please tell Daniel how to have fun dates without spending money. Give the boy some more ideas. Leave your comments in the comments section. That was something that you said. You said watching your dystopian anime.
Yes.
I know what dystopian means, and I kind of know what an anime is. I think you're watching that on Netflix. Let's talk about paid subscriptions. Do you have any?
The only subscription I pay for is my cell phone. The rest, I am using your Netflix.
So you are using my Netflix account. Here's a question. If I decide Netflix is going away, your dad and I are done with Netflix, are you going to pay for your own subscription?
I'd have to evaluate the price, but there are a lot of good shows I'm currently watching through.
Okay. So does that mean if I get rid of Netflix and you get it, will you share your Netflix with me? He's just thinking about it. All right. Oh, we already went through this one, tracking spending and sticking to a budget. We're working on it.
Working on it.
Saving for emergencies. So you do have you have a nest egg for college.
Yes.
For the next couple of years. And so you do have a financial cushion, though. You have
I've done the math,
fund.
and at my current pace of moving, I'll be able to save adequately for college while having a good probably $1,000 emergency fund.
Okay. Using the library instead of buying books or media. I feel like I should know this.
I don't go to the library much at all, to be honest.
Really? But you work at the library at school.
Yeah. We don't have great books there, though. We've got a few fun books, but for the most part, I use Netflix if I want to watch something. Or I use the file server at Sky's house. That's what we're watching our current show on. It's not even on Netflix.
So when you have projects due for school and stuff, though, you do...
absolutely.
Yes, so you know your way in and out and around the library system at school because he works there.
I'm not going to buy books for an assignment. That's silly.
So you use the library for research projects, but so you're talking about for fun. So when I ask you this question, you're thinking, do I use the library for fun, not for school?
I don't go there that often.
Okay. Planning ahead and adjusting discretionary spending. So you said you've got $30 fund money per month, and that includes his date budget, guys. Mm-hmm. So you got that tight. $30. And so I want to know how you plan ahead for that and how you adjust it if you think, oops, that's not going to be enough.
Yeah, so I knew that this month there were two big things coming up. There is a concert that we're going to be going on. It's $15 per ticket, so it's not bad. But I need to save for that. And I knew that we were going to a Comic-Con for 2 days because we are vending there. And I wanted to have some money to spend there, and $30 just wasn't going to cut it. Plus, I was having a game night with the guys, and I wanted to buy some snacks. So, knowing that, I knew that the $30 wouldn't do it, and as it turns out, February is shorter than the rest of the months. So, I made it my goal to spend no more than $10 in fun money in February, so I could scoot everything that I didn't spend over to March. And as it turns out, I got $20 of additional fun money from doing an event. So I ended up coming out with $40 extra, giving me $70 for this month. I have spent $35 of it once you count the concert that I'll be going to, but that will leave me $25 for the Comic-Con.
All right, so you have $25 money that you can spend on stuff at Comic-Con. I actually was, I'm pretty impressed that you figured out how to spend, you looked ahead.
Yes.
And that's, so if you had to give advice to college students, they're navigating kind of some of these financial decisions on their own for the first time. What is some, from your experience, other than not tracking his expenses, seriously, other than that, which we're going to be working on, because he's going to be working on, what's your advice to college students?
Just be aware of what's coming up, write it down on your calendar immediately, and then check it periodically to make sure that you're on track.
So you mentioned that you were vending at the Comic-Con. Do you get in free because you're vending?
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. As it turns out, my girlfriend's mother is buying the booth, so I don't have to pay for that, which is nice. I get my own little corner to sell my stuff in. And so that's also going to give me some extra expendable income that I can use at the Comic-Con.
I want to know what you're selling there because I literally have no idea what he's selling at this event. I'm not even sure what happens at a Comic-Con.
Okay, so at the Comic-Con, then my youngest brother last month actually, was getting rid of a bunch of action figures that our oldest brother had given to us. And so instead of letting him donate them, I took them, and I will be cleaning them up, pricing them, and selling them. Bunch of vintage G.I. Joes. So I think I can get at least $100 from that.
Nice. All right, are you selling anything else there?
That is it. No, Sky and I are working on a card game, but it's going to be a while until that's actually in development.
I would love to know, do you have questions for Daniel? Or does your high school or college age young person have questions for Daniel? Leave those questions in the comment section, and maybe we can talk Daniel into coming on with me again, like at the end of the semester when he's finished with graduation, between graduation and starting with the 4-year university. We'll have him come on again and answer your questions. Now, people tend to really appreciate when my sons come on and do videos with us Just a couple of months ago, Daniel and my youngest son came on, and they did a really fun video called Is It Cheap or Is It Frugal? You sent in your ideas and they vetted them as to whether they were frugal or they were just plain cheap. That video is right over there. It's really fun. Go take a look at it next.